After understanding these budget, then now let's try to understand what are the budget and forecast components. What are we doing in the budgets? So there are revenue budgets. These are mostly the sales plans, sales budget based on the our strategies, based on our competitor analysis, based on our market expectations, based on what we think the GDP growth is going to be, the production is going to be. We make revenue budgets. So the revenue budgets is going to include the volume of the business and the operational statistics, like for example, the number of customers, where the customers are going to come from, how much we are going to sell them, who is going to sell them. If we have, we can even do the budget by the salesperson itself. And also, if we have like defined customers, if it's like B2B sales, then we can even do the budget for individual customers. So how much this particular customer we expect is going to purchase. So it's not a commitment basis, but it's more on our estimate or our plans, to say that these are our potential customer, there we are going to sell, how many new customers we are going to add, when are we going to add, are we going to bring in any new distributors. So those are all the operational statistics, marketing and sales statistics that we have to factor in. Value means the price, discounts, promotions that we have to run during the activities. So that is the another type of budget. What would be our list price, rack price, listed price, and then what kind of sales we are going to offer, what kind of discounts we are going to offer, what kind of trade discounts, cash discounts, commission, distributor commission, incentives, what are we going to give. So that's the value generation. And then finally, the segmentation of the business, where the business is going to come from, where the bookings, what channels we are going to get from. Are we going to get it from the website? Are we going to get it from the Facebook, or from the direct calls, or via the commission agents? Where is it going to come from? So we have to define our business into these segments. Where is it coming from, basically? And then finally, we do the marketing strategies. What are the marketing activities we are going to do? What are we going to do in the direct sales, B2B sales, B2C sales? What are we going to do for digital marketing? Where we are going to use the spend? Are we going to spend on search engine optimization, or we will do some Google ads, or we are going to use the agents for selling us, or distributors for selling us, or we are going to sell to a wholesaler, and then wholesaler will sell by themselves, or we are going to have our own stores. So what are we going to do, basically? That's the marketing and sales strategies. So that's part of the revenue related budgets. Then the next component of the budget is the cost budget. Obviously, from revenue, we have to work on the cost. And the cost is also going to be the operating resources required. So the cost of goods sold, the material cost, the labor cost, including in that the production cost, the resources, the machine hours, how many we need. That's all part of the cost budget. And then we assume the planned expenses, and also certain expenses which are non-planned, because there are always expenses which are always unplanned expenses sometimes. And then we also need to look at the capital expenditure budget. Do we need to invest into acquiring new companies, or acquiring new research, new patents, new products? Or do we have to spend on the new office? Or do we have to buy new computers? We have to buy new software, have to buy the technology. So what are we going to do, basically, in terms of capital expenditure? So capital expenditure can be done for expanding the business, and also for maintaining the existing business. So the capital expenditure plan also has to be thought out. Sometimes there are government regulations, like fire and life safety requirements. COVID, now with the pandemic, with the COVID related equipments, maybe we need to install new. So those are all capital expenditure, but some are mandatory, because of the regulations. Some are some are obligatory. We don't have to do it, but we just do it for just for the sake of environment. For example, our commitment towards the zero carbon footprint. So we may have to change all our halogen lights to LED lights, or even we may have to invest into the solar panels. So this is all the requirement from the capital expenditure. So it depends on the priority of the companies, where they want to spend the money on. And then we are going to look at the cost management and looking and unlocking the efficiencies. So usually when we are doing the budget, we also look at how we are going to make our cost effective, or we are going to save those costs. Right. And then we are going to look at the qualitative aspects of these budgets. So the qualitative aspects of the budgets is more on the operational part of it, means the customer side, the employee side of the business, where we are going to say how we are going to engage the customer experience, whether it's B2B or B2C. What are we going to do for retaining the customers and upselling our existing products to the customers, or selling them higher, right? So there are certain all obviously certain programs that we have to run, the CRM activities, which we have to prepare, the communications, the general communication, not the selling communication, but the general communication. What are we going to do? So those are all the qualitative aspects of the budget. And then you have internal customers, whether it's the employee or retention, whether it's their retention, whether it's their training, whether it's their succession planning, whether it's their performance reviews, developing into the new businesses, R&D. So those are all the qualitative aspects, internal customers we have to maintain. And then finally is the operational efficiency. So you will see, basically we are looking at something called balanced scorecard, right? Where we look at the four perspectives of the business, where we are looking at the financial efficiencies, we are looking at the customer side of the business, we are looking at the employee side of the business, and also we are looking at the operational efficiencies, uh, the processes around us, how many within how many minutes we have to answer the customer calls, what are the timelines for answering a new proposal, request for a new proposal, or anything else related with the production, or the serving the customers, or saving the cost, right? So these are all the overall components of the budget and also the forecasting. You can now imagine, it's not just only one person exercise, it's not only the finance professionals who will be able to do the budget. The finance professional in fact are not able to do the entire budget by themselves, because it requires marketing efforts, it requires production companies efforts, it requires the customer service team, it requires the human resources, the training department, it requires the operational efficiencies and everything else. So these are all the budget and forecast components.